What do you think about Keith's directing style and vision for the film?
His vision for the film, it's very interesting that the very first time he broached the subject of this film to me, he told me about the idea of taking what would have been something that chronologically happens and shifting the order around, and then incorporating flashbacks into the film in his storytelling process. And it, like, the first time he told me about this, it immediately harkened back to the film Inception. And when you see the film Inception, it is, I think, almost 5 or 6 dream levels that they went. And it's, excuse my French, it's a mind fuck. And like, when you see a director who wants to do a storytelling style like that, that involves multiple flashbacks, you go, oh, this should be fun. This should be fun. Now, when it comes to directing, I will say that he was a little more hands-off with the directing when it came to the actual camera movement, except for particular scenes. And that was mainly because he was in many of the scenes in the film. But that allowed a little bit of freedom camera-wise for me to veer off from the shot list. Little secret, I did not look at the shot list at all the entire film. The shot list was a suggestion. It's kind of like GPS. You use it as a suggestion, but it's not the law. You're not going to go to jail for disobeying it. But it's beneficial that we did create a shot list in the beginning process of the film, because it got our head around how we were going to approach it. Because you don't want to approach it cold. You don't want to approach a film cold. Having that shot list forced us to think ahead of how we were going to tell the story, lighting-wise and camera-wise. Going into a film shoot without a shot list would have been detrimental and would have actually taken more time to make the film happen. So even though we didn't look at the shot list ever during the film making process, having discussed the creative ideas that he had for lighting, for camera movement from his film inspirations, helped set us up for when we actually hit record.
When was the shot list made?
Okay.
Who worked on the shot list?
Okay. So the shot. The honest answer for who wrote the shot list was, I started writing about 3 lines of the shot list, and then I became fatigued because I don't like writing. So I just decided to talk and let somebody else do the writing. So literally someone else physically wrote the shot list. The process for making this shot list was, because this film was Keith's baby for many months, he knew the film back and forth, but I didn't. So for each scene, he would describe what would happen in the scene, and then we would then discuss what type of camera movement would accentuate that scene and what lighting would be needed for that scene. And that is how we developed the shot list. So Keith would tell me the story scene by scene. I would tell what type of lighting setup would be needed, and then somebody else had the really painful job of writing that stuff down. I remember we actually had to break down the shot list writing process into 2 parts. The first part we did in a posh hotel. It was a lot of fun. Sipping $17 cocktails for no reason whatsoever. But after 3 hours of that, we noticed we were only 1/3 of the way through the script. Well, we needed to do the other 2/3 of the script. I remember getting a phone call from Keith, and I was driving around. I had just finished a film consult with somebody else at a hotel in Marina Del Rey. And I pulled up in front of Killer Shrimp in the parking lot, and I was like, okay, I need to like sit down, and like go through this. But if I sit up, I'm already mentally fatigued. It's the end of the day, and this dude just called me, and I know he wants to sit down and do this, and it's gonna take 3 hours. So I sat in my car, I set my phone to Bluetooth, and had the car be the phone, and then reclined my seat and laid back as he told me about each scene, and then I told him about the lighting and the camera work for each scene. So yes, so this shot list was created with me sitting in my car in a restaurant parking lot in Marina Del Rey.